Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, Tesla just held their earnings call, and boy, did we get a lot of great updates. Wall Street will of course focus on their earnings per share and PE ratio and operating margins on their car business and so on. But that is also why they probably missed all the bombshells that Tesla dropped during the earnings call and in their report. Because if we don't look backwards and focus on the bad Q1 Tesla just had in car sales, but look to the future, and not far out in the future, we're talking about this quarter and this year. Tesla is not only going to transform Tesla the company into something completely new, but Tesla will also take the first step to transform our civilization as we know it. So let's check out all what the others missed, and let's dive right in. So, we just had Tesla's earnings call, or company update, and boy did we get a lot of updates. We did have Wall Street analysts saying that this is the most important earnings call in Tesla's history. Not really. Tesla has been close to going bankrupt back in 2008 and 2018, so there have been a lot more important earnings call than this one, where Tesla had a war chest of $36 billion, is down in sales because of the refreshed Model Y, and we are only a couple of months away from Tesla launching unsupervised full self-driving in Austin. So as earnings call goes, it has probably been one of the least important earnings call in my opinion. And the more exciting earnings call are coming up when we start to see earnings from robotaxis and Optimus robots. That will be a very important earnings call. But this is just an earnings report that we all needed to get done with, as we all knew this would be a bad one because of the low sales numbers due to the refreshed Model Y. And Tesla did also only have $400 million in GAAP net income, so a very small quarter for Tesla as expected. But even though Tesla was down on most metrics in the earnings, they still managed to have a positive cash flow, so that was very impressive. Operating cash flow was $2.2 billion, free cash flow was $700 million, and $400 million increased to their cash and investments, so now they have $37 billion. So that is a one hell of a war chest Tesla has there. I think it's safe to say that Tesla has all the cash they will need when, even with a bad quarter in sales like this one, they still added money to their war chest, and they are ramping up production like never before, as Tesla also wrote in their earnings report. New Model Y ramp outpacing all past ramps. Oh yes, and in Q1 we accomplished an industry first, simultaneously changing all production line across all factory for the world's best-selling vehicle, the Model Y. The Tesla team successfully ramped our production line across 4 factories while managing supply chain across 3 continents without any major disruption, demonstrating the advancement of our operational and supply chain management capabilities. Yes, just insanely well done, Tesla. This is not getting enough credit from the mainstream media. And we did achieve a record order for a single day in the Asian Pacific region when we launched the new Model Y. Sounds like demand problems, right? This is significant given the region is the most competitive EV market and is also a validation of our cost structure and competitive positioning. While conventional wisdom is that competition will be bad for Tesla, we have long believed that it accelerates broader EV adoption and is positive for our sales long term. And Tesla's Shanghai Model Y factory fully ramped production in 6 weeks, our quickest ramp of any vehicles ever. Just Wow. And we launched full self-driving supervised in China, the first market outside North America with positive reception. Congratulations to the entire Tesla team for this incredible ramp of the new refreshed Model Y. Now we can just sit back and enjoy the show as Tesla sales race back to normal levels, and all the haters that screamed about demand problems will be proven wrong again. You do remember that this is kind of a yearly thing, right? The short sellers coming out of their caves screaming how Tesla has a demand problem. Here is an article from 2018 saying demand may be slowing. Or 2019, the Model 3's demand drives off a cliff. Or from 2020, Tesla sales have fallen off a cliff in Europe's greenest car market in 2020. Also sounds like an article from this year, right? Déjà vu. Or this one from the middle of 2021. Tesla stock plummet as report shows China orders drop by half. The stupidity in this article is just next level. Tesla ended up growing 87% in 2021. Not really dropping off a cliff, is it? So this is just to say, it's nothing new that the haters are out screaming that Tesla is having demand problem. But just like through the last 7 years, they had no idea of what was actually going on. Just like Tesla confirmed at the earnings call that the demand was looking strong with record orders in China, the biggest car market on the planet, and also record test drives in the US and in California, Tesla is still the best-selling car of any kind. So the haters might say that Elon has been screaming, "The wolf is coming" for 7 years with full self-driving. But they kind of forget that they have been screaming wolf about Tesla's demand problem for 7 years straight. It's kind of getting old. But Tesla is still on track with the new vehicles, including more affordable models remaining on track to start production in the first half of 2025, so this quarter. These vehicles will utilize aspect of the next generation platform as well as aspect of their current platform and will be produced on the same manufacturing line as their current vehicle lineup. So we will get the production starting of new models within the next couple of months. And they did say that because they are using existing production line, that also limits how the vehicle will be designed. So they can't suddenly start making a van or something like that is completely different. So either we will get a stripped down Model 3 and Y clones, or they will tweak the look a bit to make them into something different and not cannibalize so much on their Model 3 and Model Y sales. And I think that is what they will do. And before you start screaming about how this is disappointing if they just make a little different design, but just a Model 3 and Model Y underneath, well, take a look at the Volkswagen ID family lineup here. Well, except the ID Buzz, of course, the rest look very much the same. And underneath, they are basically completely the same. Or we can even look at their different powertrains. Here is the ID.7 Touring, or the Golf, or the Passat. Yes, it's kind of hard to tell them apart. So I think Tesla will make a tweaked version of the two models. Not completely just scraped down version, but a little smaller maybe. Just a little bit different, but not too much. As Tesla just explained, they are limited to what they can do with the current production line. So still going to be very exciting to see what they will come up with. But not only that, Tesla also wrote, we continue progress on installing of lines for Tesla Semi in Nevada and Cybercab in Texas, both remaining on track for volume production next year. So limited production this year. So we will get something like maybe 20 Cybercabs driving in Austin this year for sure. And more semi-trucks on the road as well. Just awesome. And then the more important stuff. Tesla also shared a photo of their Optimus Fremont pilot production line. Oh yes. And what you see here is definitely the Gen 3 Optimus robot. As we can see, the shoulders are completely different from the old version we have seen walking around. So Tesla is without a doubt building robots for their own internal use as we speak, as Julian wrote on X. Super excited about our new Optimus production line in Fremont. 2025 is gonna be wild. Oh yes, people are so negative about Tesla at the moment, but that is only people that are not really keeping up with what is actually going on. Because yes, 2025 will be absolutely wild. And Elon once again said he expects at least 1 million humanoid robot in production by 2030, maybe earlier. Oh yeah, people are not ready for this. As Tesla also wrote, artificial intelligence, software and hardware. We believe that our approach to autonomy, a vision-only architecture with end-to-end neural network training on billions of examples of real-world data, will result in a scalable and safe deployment across diverse geographics and use cases. This was validated with the launch of the full self-driving supervised in China, which was achieved without access to the country-specific training data. Yes, as I have talked about so many times, and how this really shows us that Tesla system does work everywhere. But the Model 3, Model Y and the Cybertruck now drives automatically without human supervision from the production line to the outbound logistic lot at our US factories. We remain on track for pilot launch of Robotaxi in Austin by June, and builds of Optimus on our Fremont pilot production line in 2025, with wider deployment of bot doing useful work across our factories. So Robotaxis launched in June, confirmed once again. Yes, they did say during the earnings call that the first cars they will use for robotaxis will be the Model Y, but I think we will also have a handful of Cybercabs coming soon. Tesla is still discussing how many Cybercabs to deploy to test it out, but first robotaxis will be the Model Y. You know, the car you and I can buy for about the same price that Waymo pays for just their sensors and computers. Like Elon also said, the issue with Waymo is that they cost way more money. Bada bing. The Cybercab cost maybe something like 20% of a Waymo car, as Elon said. So exactly what I have made a lot of video about, trying to explain to people that no one will be able to compete as they can't match Tesla on cost. It doesn't matter if they have a fully functional robotaxi if they can't match on cost. As Elon also said, at present, no one can compare with Tesla's Cybercab. So as Elon said, Tesla will probably have something like 90% market share of the robotaxi market. And don't forget, ARK Invest says that is a $10 to $13 trillion market. And as Elon said, Tesla will have millions of robotaxis next year. Who else will have that? No one. Waymo has 800 robotaxis, and they have been added for 7 years. But Tesla will have millions already next year. So this has been the business model the whole time, and I have tried to explain this. Once the tech part is achieved and Tesla has solved full self-driving unsupervised, no one will be able to catch up to the cost structure Tesla has, as Tesla is not just the company that makes the car drive themselves. They are also making the cars, and they are also making the factories that build the cars. As Elon also explained, no one is producing cars this way, the Unboxed production method of the Cybercab, anywhere in the world. The factory is as much the product as the car itself, coming off the line every 5 seconds, fastest production line on Earth. Tesla is already the fastest in the world with 33 seconds in the Shanghai factory, but Tesla will do 5 second cycle time for the Cybercab, and it will be 100% autonomous production lines. And the car will just drive off the production line and out on the street. No one will be able to compete. And Elon think they will have something like 90% market share. And Elon still confirmed that Tesla will have the first Teslas drive directly to his customers from the production line by the end of this year. That is going to be such a big deal. And they have already been making crash tests of the Cybercab, and it will be just as safe as the other cars they make, some of the safest cars in the world. So we can call BS on Waymo's former CEO that said that if a company was serious about robotaxis, well, they would never have designed a car that looked like the Cybercab. Well, that only shows us how little he knows about it. The short sellers and haters are not going to know what hit them when 2025 is over. They thought Tesla was bleeding badly because they had to retool their factories at the beginning of the year, so sales were down. And by the end of this year, they will have succeeded with robotaxis, unsupervised full self-driving, humanoid robots working in the factories, 2 more affordable models delivered, and energy storage exploding. And speaking of energy, Tesla shared a nice new chart of their energy storage business and wrote, in Q1 we deployed more than double the energy storage product compared to Q1 2024, 4.05 gigawatt hours in Q1 2024 to 10.4 gigawatt hours in Q1 2025. We achieved a 4th sequential record for Powerwall deployment, crossing 1 gigawatt hour for the first time, and continue to be supply constrained. Gross margin for the energy business improved sequentially. Maker Factory Shanghai volume did not contribute to quarterly deployment. However, the factory produced over 100 megapacks, with the megapacks en route to their customers. So that new factory has already produced more than $200 million worth of megapacks. But they will not be seen in the earnings before a few quarters out. And with a highly localized supply chain, as Tesla wrote, 20 gigawatt hours of current annual capacity and ability to double to 40 gigawatt hours, Mega Factory Shanghai will be an important asset for meeting global energy storage demand during a time of uncertain cost structure in the US. So yes, Tesla had a bad quarter. We all know that, nothing surprising here. But Tesla is still on track with civilization-changing technology that will all be deployed this year. A generalized, affordable robotaxi for scale and a humanoid robot. And it will be high volume next year, but they will be deployed this year. I think 2025 is going to be a year for the history book, not just because of what Tesla will achieve, but because of how it went. From the beginning of the year, where all the haters came out because of the decline in sales, because of the retooling of 4 factories and screaming demand problem and brand damage and vandalization of Tesla stores and so on, to end the year off by having robotaxis running in the street, humanoid robots working in their factories, and demand stronger than ever. Because who will want to buy something that can't drive themselves when you have the option to buy a Tesla, even 2 more affordable ones? And of course, Tesla energy business will double once again. 2025 will be the year where Tesla really took the first step toward their new mission: sustainable abundance for all.
Steve Jobs announced the iPhone in January of 2007. To value Apple in January of 2007, not based on the prospect of this cutting-edge device, this new next-generation phone, to not value Apple on that, but to value it instead on iPod sales would have been a massive mistake for any investor to make. And so remember, when you buy a company, you're buying all of its future cash flows, not just the cash flows for the next 6 to 12 months. If you're buying Tesla today, you are investing in their AI technology. It is second to none. I got to tell you, I don't want to make a confession here on air, but I am trading on material, non-public information when it comes to Tesla. Not because I'm doing anything wrong, but because when I drive the car, I have information that 99% of investors don't have. For folks who want to invest with Tesla, I got to tell you, you got to just do this. Go to a Tesla dealership, schedule a test drive, and use the full self-driving technology. When you are done out of that car, you will want to buy Tesla stock with both hands and feet. This technology is magic, and most investors haven't fully appreciated that yet.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.